I thank the organizers as well as the chairperson Sri Vijayan who have given this opportunity to me to present a paper on employment and asset generation through Manrega, a gender analysis in Kadalur district. This is a joint paper along with my PhD candidate, Dr. Chandralega, right now who is working as a faculty in Alagappa University. Here, before going to take up this issue specifically on Kadalur district, I can make a brief on Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu in terms of generation of employment or utilization of fund. Morning also there was a discussion about that star states. This state also will come under the category of star states, star performing states. There from 2011, 12, 13 and 13, 14, the Narega wage rate has been increased from 119 to 138 and 138 to 148. And during 2013-14, that all the districts have been declared as a drought expected districts, and that the CM has announced that is instead of 100 days employment as 150 days employment, and that the total budget is for that 13-14 is 6,400 crores, and they had expected to generate 43 crores of employment during the financial year. Here there are some successes, failures we could notice. We can't expect that uniform performance all the 31 districts. Here, this is that a part of the work in the PhD work, there are a number of analysis she carried out. Here only one part that is called a gender analysis alone we are making a presentation here. Here that the objective of the program is, this is a demand driven program. Here people have to demand accordingly, on the basis of that the work will be given and their livelihood will be generated. Here for the last yesterday and today also, while I was observing various points, there is a divide between the policy makers and the academicians. Here there are certain issues the policy makers they could not understand, and the academicians also they could not understand other type of issues. If you club together, and that Sudha has invited that administrators also from the Ministry of RD, and they also contribute, and also we can club all those things together to evolve a concrete policies. Earlier I worked in the Ministry of Rural Development 5 years later only I joined as a faculty in Annamalai University. I had some experience in execution or releasing of the funds. There are a number of problems are there. Here this is the demand driven program, and accordingly we introduce the program. Here what is the objective of the paper? The objective of the paper to study the pattern and quantum of employment generated and identified the gender benefited. How much the male has been benefited, how much the female has been benefited from the Narega program. And what we have done, the district again it has been classified into 4 micro agroclimatic regions. Within the district, how you can make a agroclimatic regions? See here, there is we have classified in the form of micro agroclimatic regions for making further in-depth analysis. Here you can make a question why Kadalur district has been chosen. That is the first phase on pilot basis. 150 districts have been identified by the Government of India. Kadalur district is one among the district, and it has been introduced during 2005. Here that among the 6 districts, Kadalur is the one. Of these 6, the Kadalur district has certain unique features. That is the concentration of SC population is 27%, and the low level of income, all those characteristics. If you compare the Human Development Index, that 2003, that Tamil Nadu, as per the Tamil Nadu Human Development Report 2003, that the Kadalur district rank is 15. Here the middle level Kadalur district, and also in certain parameters it looks backward. Here what is the methodology of this paper? On the basis of topography, The district has been classified into 4 agroclimatic regions: dry region, dry cum wet region, floodplain region and coastal region. In this way we have classified. The district consists of 13 blocks. One block has been identified in every agroclimatic region of the study. The administrative regions of the block and composition of the blocks are varied. Here this is that study area. You can see that the Kadalur district that is around 47 kilometer distance. The coastal area 47 kilometers distance, and here we have classified the dry region and dry cum wet region and floodplain region and the coastal region. In this way we have taken that sample. Here totally 12 panchayat villages were selected for the study, representing all the 4 agroclimatic regions. These villages have been selected on the basis of the performance. How much the fund has been utilized, how much the works were carried out on the basis of performance. The secondary data were gathered from the various block headquarters. On the basis of that, this villages have been selected. Proportionate random sampling technique has been introduced to identify the beneficiary of the households. After assessing the ground reality, statistical tools were used. Sample size has been fixed as 7% specifically to make intra-regional analysis, that is 4 climatic region analysis. The total sample works out to 447. Here that is generally that what type of asset creation they used to do. Here there are 10 tables in the presentation. I will go through one by one. Here that the first table related to Kadalur district, after that one region by the tables are there. Here if you see this assets, generally after taking a stock, the assets were classified into 4 categories. These are the major works have been carried out in the district: pond silt removal, lake silt removal, canal silt removal and the road maintenance. Here overall the sample is 447. And that working days, that adult male and adult female we have worked out, and after assessing that minimax values, here this distribution has been worked out from below 15 to 61 to 75. That is the maximum. After assessing that minimax value for both the categories, uniformly that class intervals have been worked out, and you can see that adult male 451. That is the total 400. This is the frequency 451, and if you take up the case of that female 641, that means that is the female force has been benefited much compared to that of male force. And if you take up the case of adult male, here how much here that the canal silt removal, that is a 41.4% of the people have worked, and at the next level road maintenance. In the case of adult female, here more or less the similar trend can be seen. Here canal silt removal and then the road maintenance. So there is a uniform picture, a marginal differences could be seen on that lake silt removal. Here in this category, this is a pond silt removal, lake silt removal, there is no entry. Here if you overall, if you take up the cases of percentage, the row wise percentages, here that is the maximum benefits could be noticed that below 15 and 16 to 30, that is the 53 and 40, around 93% of them have been benefited under this 2 class intervals. Similarly here that the female category 2, 44 plus 42, that is 86%. Here both the categories you could notice, here all of them come under that low level category alone. They have not utilized that full entitlement. Here this is that case of
below 15 age.
Not the number of days work. That is the total entitlement is 100 days. Here how many age? As per the law they can't work. That's why it has been quoted as adult male, adult female. Here this is the number of days, distribution of working days, adult male below 15. Here this is the region of dry region. Here if you compare all the regions, we can't get a uniform picture. Generally that a dry region used to absorb more number of Narega days. Here for example, here the not only Narega program, there are number of programs are going on. These programs are complementary in nature, not a substitute programs. In that case what they do, they alternate, they opt the programs accordingly the performances are there. Here in this case the dry region, the total sample is 104. Of this 136 frequencies have been recorded here. Here that total work. Here the female is 184. Here also in the dry region, female force have been occupied more than that of that male force. And if you compare these two class intervals, first two class intervals, around 97% people are working in these two categories, that is called adult male. Here, one thing we have to notice here, why the people that the male force as well as the female force work in the of this program, even though that wage rate, market wage rate is far below compared to that of Narega wage rate. Here that general opinion of the people is, if we avail the card, that is the job card if we have, definitely one way or other the government will give some other benefits, either in the form of subsidy or other benefits. That's why in order to enjoy the future benefits, they want to make entry as well as to enjoy the benefits. Such type of entries we could see notice even that low level of wages in the adult male category. Here this is the case of dry cum wet region. The sample size is 133. Of this 133, that the frequency is 71 in the case of adult male, 141 in the case of adult female. Here also, again also, if you notice, this is the first two class intervals occupies the maximum. Adult female also the first two class intervals. They have not reached, that is that full entitlement is 100 days, but most of them they work that less than 30 days. Here this is the case of floodplain region. Floodplain region, the sample size is 89. Of this, if you see, you can notice here there is a 0 figures in this category, 2 categories, there is no entry. Here of this sample 89, 126 frequencies have been recorded in that adult male. Here adult female 114. Here there was a somewhat little difference compared to that of other categories as well as that overall picture. Here that female, here this is the floodplain region of this district, and similar to this overall picture, that is the first two class intervals, both male and female. Here that female force is somewhat different. Here that 52 plus 15, the around 67% allowed, they are in this category. And the coastal region, this is that another region, coastal region, around 47 kilometers distance. We have taken that two villages from this region. Here that the sample size is 121. Of this, the frequency is 116. Here what has happened, that is 31 plus 60, around 92% you could find the people have worked less than 30 days. And here this is the case of this adult. This is the wrong, this is the adult female. Adult female category, this is a total 202. Of this is the case of 69, 34 plus 52, around 85% of the people are working less than 30 days. You can see that overall picture, what gender wise the performance have been portrayed here. Here this is the dry region, this is a pond silt removal and lake silt removal, canal silt removal, road maintenance. Here in this region, that canal silt removal, the female workforce is very high. There is a little difference among all the categories of works. In the case of dry cum wet region, here there is no much work on pond silt removal and road maintenance. Here depends on the requirement. Already we have told that is the demand driven work. On the basis of the need, they have conceived and developed the project and they have worked. That's why the performance differs in terms of activities. Here this is the case of floodplain region. Here also that floodplain region canal silt removal. This is wanted. That's why they have concentrated on this. Here also that the female workforce is very high. Here that the lake silt removal, here that the female workforce is less. Here the road maintenance also that the female workforce is less. Here on the other hand, number of days worked in asset creation activities in the coastal region of Kadalur district. Here the coastal region, most of the coastal region people, they work as a fisherman. Their activities are differ and generally also they also opt for this work. Here lake silt removal, that is not needed much, that's why that the performance is very poor. Here road maintenance, canal silt removal, here that is the female workforce worked much better than that of male workforce. Here the overall picture, number of days worked in asset creation activities in terms of the pond silt removal, lake silt removal, canal silt removal, road maintenance. This is the overall picture of the district, that 447 sample. The frequencies differ, and more or less that female workforce is very high, only that road maintenance are more or less equal. Here this is that employment and income, what we have done on the basis of that, that number of days they have worked, and we have worked out how much they have earned. Here also again 20 minutes. 20 minutes. This quickly. This time is not going on. Okay. I am waiting for the timing signal. Okay, I will quickly finish. Here distribution of wage income earned. Here also what is that? Again we have made that class interval after assessing that 5 minutes. Another 5 minutes. Okay. That is here wages income also again it has been distributed on the basis of minimax values. That a maximum, that the Tripura alone and the last paper also they touched 10,000, that's why I have asked. Here maximum value only 5,000. On the basis of that we have worked out the frequencies. Here that the total frequencies here 451, here 641. More or less the same frequencies have been recorded, but this distribution will differ. Here this is the case of dry region. Dry region also again. Here the performance differ. And how many days? Here the wages used to be distributed on the basis of the quantum of physical activities. How much they have worked. Here they may work, whether they have worked, how much they have carried out that actual work, accordingly the performance. That's why there is a little differences between the distribution exercises of number of days employed and the wages of income. Similar to this dry cum wet region, here also again you could notice. Here the floodplain region of this district. Here there are some there are some nil entries are here. And the coastal region of this district, the coastal regions that are total. And here you could find, earlier we could find some of the records here that there was some disturbances are here. Here due to that how much they have earned. Here this is that overall picture of this district, the 4 regions. Dry region, how much that female have earned, and this is that canal silt removal, that dry region people have earned much. And here dry cum wet region, here canal silt removal is high, but a female force is very low. And here distribution of wage income floodplain region, here also canal silt removal is very high. Here this is the case of that a coastal region. Here road maintenance is ranks top. This is that overall picture of the district in terms of income distribution. Here a overall picture, pond silt removal, more or less there is no much difference. Here lake silt removal, there is a marginal difference. Canal silt removal also marginal difference. Here also marginal differences are there in terms of wage income. Here is there a seeming to be, we can easily find out, is there any difference in terms of number of days of employment as well as the wage income. Here the ANOVA model has been worked out, and accordingly if you see this, what about the mean level of wage income, that each and every activity it differs. How many days they have worked, accordingly that income, mean income levels are there, but that is significant, that the differences are significant at all levels. Here that major findings, here juxtaposing that male and female, it could be said that both the genders avail opportunities a maximum of 45 working days, except in 1 or 2 cases. The participation of female, that is, if you compare to that national average, it is somewhat high. That is, that state level is 49 and that all India level is 39, and this district performance is 45. The participation of female is high as compared to male. The skewed distribution of income generated both in terms of income as well as employment, you could notice. There is no perfect relationship between the endowment of the region and the benefits realized by the households. Here there is a proportional relationship between mean days of employment and wages earned by the surveyed households. The maximum mean values of income 1625 commences from dry cum wet region and ends with 3698 in the floodplain region. That region to region it varies, significantly varies. Comparing the mean values of employment earned between male and female across 4 regions, there is a significant difference between the two. Here, these are the major conclusions of this paper. The results of the study clearly indicate that it has the potential to transform. Already I told you that in Tamil Nadu we have reached only 45 working days, and instead of fulfilling the total entitlement, now the CM has announced to 150 days. Whether we could achieve that target or not, that is a questionable one. Here, this is the scope. What is the potential? What is that actual reality? If you want to achieve that potential, at least we have to take effort. And also that star performing states we have come under the category. That is due to that administrators as well as financial year, here that maximum range. Here this is that overall conclusion. Already we had a discussion about the income and the employment and asset. There is a potential, that the potential has to be achieved. These are the major conclusions of the paper.
Just a clarification.